Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Daily Science Discoveries. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, because every day we explore science in a simple, exciting way.
Hi everyone, I'm Sophie, and today we're taking you on a journey far beyond our daily lives, straight into the universe.
Exactly. Science isn't just formulas or textbooks, it's curiosity. It's asking questions like, where do we come from? What's out there? And how does it all work?
And what I love about science is that it connects everything, from the smallest cell under a microscope to the largest galaxies spinning in space.
Speaking of galaxies, that image you're holding, Sophie, is fascinating. It looks like a spiral galaxy, very similar to our own Milky Way.
Yes, and what's incredible is that this spiral shape isn't random. It's the result of gravity, time, and billions of stars moving together like a cosmic dance.
When people hear the word universe, they often think it's something distant, unreachable. But in reality, we are part of it.
Exactly. The atoms in our bodies were once formed inside stars. So, in a very real sense, we are made of stardust.
That idea alone changes how you see yourself, doesn't it? You're not just sitting at home listening to a podcast, you're a tiny piece of a vast cosmic story.
And science helps us tell that story, not through beliefs or opinions, but through observation, experiments, and discovery.
That's why this podcast is called Daily Science Discoveries, because science is never finished. Every day, researchers discover something new.
Sometimes it's a new planet, sometimes it's a new particle, sometimes it's a better understanding of something we thought we already knew.
Let's talk about that for a moment. Science isn't about being right all the time. It's about being willing to change your mind when new evidence appears.
And that's a powerful lesson beyond science. Imagine if we approached life the same way, curious, humble, and open to learning.
Absolutely. Now, many people listening might think science is too complicated for me.
But science starts with simple questions, like a child asking, "Why is the sky blue?" or "Why do stars shine?"
And today, with technology, anyone can explore science. You don't need a laboratory. You just need curiosity.
That's why podcasts like this exist, to bring science to everyday people, in everyday language.
Let's zoom out again to the universe. When you look at the night sky, what do you feel, Sophie?
Honestly, a mix of wonder and humility. It reminds me that my problems are small, but my existence is meaningful.
That feeling has a name. Scientists and philosophers call it cosmic perspective.
And studies show that when people think about the universe, they become more calm, more generous, and less focused on their ego.
So science doesn't just teach us facts, it changes how we feel, how we think, and how we relate to others.
That's why exploring the universe is also exploring ourselves.
Beautifully said. And this is only the beginning.
In the next parts of this podcast, we'll talk about black holes, time, life beyond Earth, and the mysteries scientists are still trying to solve.
So stay with us, subscribe, share this episode, and let curiosity guide you.
Because science isn't just for scientists, it's for everyone.
You know, Sophie, when people hear words like black holes or dark matter, they often imagine something scary or impossible to understand.
Yes, but that fear usually comes from unfamiliarity. Once you explain things step by step, science becomes less intimidating and more fascinating.
Exactly. Take black holes, for example. They're not cosmic monsters sucking everything in like vacuum cleaners, as movies often show.
In reality, a black hole is simply a place where gravity is so strong that even light can't escape, and gravity itself is something we experience every single day.
So in a way, black holes are extreme versions of something very familiar.
That's a great way to put it. Science often works like that. It takes everyday ideas and stretches them to their limits.
And that stretching forces us to rethink what we believe about space, time, and even reality itself.
Time is a perfect example. Most people think time flows the same way everywhere.
But according to modern physics, time can slow down or speed up depending on gravity and motion.
Which means that time near a black hole moves differently than time on Earth.
So while we're talking here, somewhere in the universe, time is passing at a completely different rhythm.
That idea alone is mind-blowing. It makes you realize that our everyday experience is just one version of reality.
And science gives us the tools to explore those other versions, even if we can't physically go there.
That's where imagination meets mathematics. You imagine a possibility, then you test it with equations and observations.
And sometimes the universe surprises us. Scientists predict something, and then reality turns out to be even stranger.
Like dark matter. We can't see it, we can't touch it, but we know it exists because of how galaxies behave.
Without dark matter, galaxies would simply fly apart,
So most of the universe is made of something invisible.
which is humbling. It reminds us that what we see is only a small fraction of what exists.
And that's a powerful lesson beyond science. Not everything important is visible.
Exactly. Knowledge itself often works that way. The deeper truths require patience, curiosity, and effort.
And sometimes they require accepting uncertainty.
That's a key point. Science doesn't promise absolute certainty. It promises better understanding over time.
And that process, questioning, testing, and refining, is what makes science so honest.
It also teaches critical thinking. Instead of asking, "Is this comforting?" we ask, "Is this true?"
Which is why science is essential in a world full of information, opinions, and misinformation.
Absolutely. Learning science helps people distinguish evidence from speculation.
And podcasts like this aim to build that habit gently, one idea at a time.
Let's shift perspective again, from the vast universe to something closer, life.
Ah, yes, the big question, are we alone?
Scientists don't know yet, but what's exciting is that we now have the tools to search for answers.
Thousands of exoplanets have already been discovered, planets orbiting other stars.
Some of them are in what scientists call the habitable zone.
Meaning conditions where liquid water could exist.
And where there's water, life becomes a real possibility.
Even if that life is very simple, like bacteria, it would completely change how we see ourselves.
Because it would mean life is not unique to Earth.
And if life exists elsewhere, then the universe is not just vast, it's alive with potential.
That idea inspires scientists, artists, philosophers, everyone.
It reminds us that curiosity is one of the most human traits we have.
And curiosity is exactly what drives science forward.
So if you're listening right now and you've ever asked why, you're already thinking like a scientist.
And that's the spirit we want to cultivate here.
Because exploring the universe isn't about distance, it's about mindset.
You know, Sophie, when we talk about curiosity, I often think about how it starts very early in life.
Yes, children are natural scientists. They touch everything, ask endless questions, and aren't afraid of being wrong.
Exactly. Somewhere along the way, many adults lose that freedom to ask why without fear.
That's true. School sometimes focuses too much on correct answers instead of good questions.
And science is really about questions. The best discovery started with someone saying, "This doesn't make sense."
Or what if we're wrong about this?
That mindset is powerful. It allows progress instead of stagnation.
And it applies to everyday life too. When you question habits, beliefs, or assumptions, you grow.
Let's talk about growth for a moment. Scientific growth and human growth.
They're deeply connected. As our knowledge expands, our responsibility expands too.
Especially with technology. Science has given us incredible tools.
Telescopes that can see billions of years into the past.
Microscopes that reveal entire worlds inside a single drop of water.
And computers powerful enough to simulate the universe itself.
But with that power comes ethical questions.
Yes, just because we can do something doesn't always mean we should.
That's where philosophy meets science.
And that intersection is often ignored, but it's essential.
For example, artificial intelligence. It's a scientific achievement, but it raises deep questions about work, creativity, and identity.
And even consciousness. What does it mean to be aware?
Scientists still don't fully understand consciousness.
Which is fascinating. We can study galaxies millions of light years away, but the human mind remains mysterious.
That mystery reminds us to stay humble.
Humility is one of the most underrated scientific virtues.
Absolutely. The more you know, the more you realize how much you don't know.
And that realization is not discouraging, it's exciting.
Because it means discovery never ends.
That's why science is not a destination, it's a journey.
A journey without a final chapter.
Let's go back to space for a moment. One thing that fascinates many people is the idea of the beginning of the universe.
The Big Bang.
Yes, not an explosion in space, but an expansion of space itself.
That distinction is important. Space didn't exist before, it came into existence.
Which leads to profound questions. What caused it? What came before?
And science is honest enough to say, we don't know yet.
That honesty is beautiful.
Because it invites future generations to continue the search.
And maybe someone listening to this podcast right now will be part of that future.
That's a powerful thought.
Science is not reserved for a special group of people. It's open to anyone willing to learn.
All it takes is patience and curiosity.
And the courage to accept complexity.
Yes, the universe is not simple, but it is understandable, piece by piece.
And every small understanding matters.
Even learning one new concept can change how you see the world.
For example, understanding gravity changes how you see motion.
Understanding evolution changes how you see life.
Understanding the universe changes how you see yourself.
And that's why science education is so important.
It empowers people.
It gives them tools to think independently.
And to resist fear-based explanations.
Fear thrives in ignorance.
But knowledge brings clarity.
And clarity brings calm.
Which is something we all need more of.
So when we explore the universe, we're also learning how to live better here on Earth.
That's a beautiful way to connect the cosmic and the personal.
And that connection is exactly what this podcast is about.
Daily discoveries, small steps, big perspectives.
Because science isn't just about stars and atoms.
It's about understanding our place in the story of existence.